What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of GH. Um, I don't know how I feel so far about Kate Mansi taking over the Christina role. I think she did a pretty good job her first day. I think she did. This is just my opinion. Um, I like Kate Mansi as an actress. I really do. I like Kate Mansi. I love Lexi. I like Kate Mansi because I think she did a great job on Days. So I got to see more of her on GH and how she fares with the rest of the cast. Because the cast over here is very different from the cast that Days. So the chemistry might be a little different. So I got to see more of her with everybody else, before I could totally say, well, she plays Christina great. Um, but I like what I saw so far. But I'm definitely gonna miss Lexi. I wish her well in all her future endeavors. Cause I think Lexi is a fantastic actress. She's definitely brought a lot to the Christina role throughout the years. But yeah, you know what? I love the fact that Christina is getting involved in this youth shelter for the LGBTQ community. I love that she's doing it. I think it's a dope idea. And I'm glad that she's excited about it, but I also understand where Sam was coming from because I know Alexis felt like Sam was being a little too critical of Christina, but I think Sam was trying to be realistic about the situation. I think she's happy for Christina, and I think she loves the idea of this youth shelter, but it's a lot that goes into something like this. It really is, like, it's a lot of attention that needs to be had. It takes up a lot of your time. You got to pay a lot of attention to the details of things like this. You can't let anything fall through the cracks. And I definitely understand where Sam was coming from. Christina, I think she's skipping some steps. Like, she's hiring a contractor, she's hiring a graphic designer, to work on the logo. I think the logo is pretty nice. But I feel like the first step was to hire an accountant to go over the finances. You know what I'm saying? To see what you can afford to do, see what needs to be budgeted, work on a budget and stuff like that. Because the renovation plans that she has is going to cost a lot. It's going to raise up the property taxes significantly. You know what I mean? And she hasn't even begun to talk to donors about raising funds and all that. And I get where Christina was coming from. Like, she wants to build something first or come up with a concept first before she can go to people for money. But I'm like, all you gotta do is put together a proposal. That's all she has to do. You don't have to renovate the building first to get money. You know what I mean? Like, just put up a proposal, draft up one. You know what I'm saying? If you present investors or donors with a great proposal, surely they'll write you a check. You know what I mean? You don't need to have the renovations done in order for them to write you a check. Just come up with a great proposal. So I definitely get where Sam is coming from. Sam was being realistic about it, and she definitely was talking about Christina as if Christina's some type of flake. Like, I get it because I've seen people like that. You know how you get excited about something and you're all hyped about it and you're doing it for a few weeks, and then after a few weeks is done, you start getting tired of it and you want to do something else. You're flaking. Instead of seeing it through. And I think that's what Sam wants. She wants Christina to really see this project through and really, give her all to it and give, everything she got to this project because it is costing a lot of money. Sonny's already, writing a check for it. So, you don't want to waste his money in the process and you want to prove to everybody that you can handle this. And I love the fact that Alexis kept her mouth shut on this. And I love that because Alexis learned her lesson. Because every time she's critical of Christina, Christina literally lashes out at Alexis or don't talk to her for a while. So I was proud that Alexis said, I'm a zip it. I'm going to throw away the key. I was happy she did. I said, good for you, Alexis. You growing. Of course she wants her daughter to succeed, but, Christina's a grown woman at the end of the day. She has to find her way in life. So I'm glad that Alexis was like, you know what, I'm going to fall back on this, and this is her project. I'm going to let her do her. Whether she succeeds or she flakes on it, that's on her. And I agree. So anyway, moving on from that. I get where Molly is coming from. I get it. It is hard to hear news like that you may not be able to, get pregnant and stuff or have a baby the natural way. I get it. But it still baffles me that Molly would even want to have a child the natural way, because she doesn't do anything natural. Like, she doesn't do things how the world perceives you to do it. Like traditional things. That's the word I'm looking for. She doesn't, do things in a traditional manner. So I wouldn't have thought that she would have wanted to have a baby that way. I thought she would have wanted to use a surrogate or adoption or something. So I was kind of shocked that she wanted to, get pregnant and stuff like that. I was shocked. But she needs to understand where TJ is coming from, and I love how positive TJ is trying to be. Like, you got to see the bright side of things. It's not the end of the world. Yes, it's hard news to get, but it's not the end. They could still have a child. The door is not closed on that. There's still so many different ways. There's so many different treatments that can be had, surgeries. There's plenty of things that she can do to have a baby the traditional way. The door isn't shut on that. Speaking of shutting, she needs to stop shutting TJ out. You know what I mean? She wanted him to be her partner. He's her partner. She needs to lean on him. And that's what he wants her to do. Like, stop hiding things from him. If you're feeling any type of pain or any type of whatever, she needs to clue him in on this thing. Let him be a part of it. Let him go through the process with her instead of just shutting him out of things. That can get frustrating. And I feel like, if it continues the way that it's going, her and TJ are going to continue to butt heads. They're going to have issues, and it's going to start to tear their relationship apart. So she needs to start filling him in more about how she's feeling emotionally, physically, just let him, be there for her, as he should be. She ought to be happy that he actually cares enough to want to know, like, what's going on with him. I mean, with her, because some dudes in relationships don't even care to ask, how you feeling, or, what can they do to, take the stress away from you. He even suggested that she take a few days off, as she should. Work is work. It can survive. It'll still be there. Take some time out for you. That's what she needs to do. So anyway, moving on from that, Drew is just Drew. Like, he really thinks getting dirt on Tracy is gonna solve his problems. I'm like, okay, well, if that's what you think, have at it. You barking up the wrong tree. But I do have to say, I agree with what Drew was trying to tell Curtis. You know what I mean? Like, Curtis sitting here reflecting, thinking, oh, maybe I should go back to Jordan. Maybe, oh, I don't owe Portia anything. Sir, yes, you do. And I totally agree with Drew. What Curtis is doing to Portia is the same thing he did to Jordan. Oh, I can't trust her. I don't owe her anything. She lied. Okay. So she lied to you, and that's why you don't think you could be with her anymore, but you're willing to go back to a woman who you divorced for lying to you. What sense does that make? Like, he needs to understand something. People are not perfect. They're flawed. He's flawed. Even though he thinks he's perfect, but he's flawed. I mean, has he told Portia or Jordan or anybody that he's working with Miss Wu? That he lets her use the club for her gambling? Has he told them that? That's a lie. He never told them. Yet it's okay for him to hold information, but if they do it, it's a deal breaker for him. Like, come on now. What message is that sending? It's very hypocritical in my book. Um, he need to really, like, let that go. Whatever feelings he think he has for Jordan, he need to let it go. You didn't want to be with her no more. Move on. You need to focus on your marriage. You need to fix things with Portia at this point. You know what I mean? Like, fix things with her. Stop trying to string Jordan along. And I'm very disappointed in Jordan, because she should have shut the door on that whole reconciliation thing with Curtis. She should have never opened that door up again, or even let him be aware that that door is ajar. You know what I mean? Like, close the door on that. Don't spin the block on that relationship. Please don't. Like, her and Curtis need to be done. She needs to move on to greener pastures. She really do. And I know she feel guilty because Portia's sitting here heaping on all this praise on her, talking about, oh, you really have been looking out for my family from day one, and I just never really, took the time to notice or say anything. It's like, Jordan gonna start to feel guilty because she still got feelings for this lady husband. I feel like Jordan, if I was her, I wouldn't say anything to Portia about her feelings for Curtis. I would let it go, and I would let Curtis go. Like, permanently, let him go. It's not worth it. Going back into that again is, let that shit go. Um, I was actually happy that Carly chose not to, betray Sonny because her options are minimum at this point. Her excuses, the SEC don't give a damn about her motives. And I agree with Diane on that. They don't care about why she committed insider trading. They could give a crap about that. The fact is, you are guilty of what they're accusing you of. That's the point of this whole thing. Your motivations don't matter to them. It's the feds. They don't care. Um, but I do admire her loyalty. I don't like Carly some days, but I admire the loyalty that she has because she's not willing to flip on Drew. She know Drew not gonna snitch on her or flip on her, and she's definitely not willing to throw Sonny under the bus. I'm glad that she's gonna take ownership of this as she should. You got yourself into this mess. Find another way out of it. Even though her options are very much limited, find a way. You always do. You know, find a way to get out of it without trying to toss somebody under the bus, because it wouldn't be fair to toss any of them under the bus. That wouldn't be the right way to go either. So if you got to do a little bid or whatever, then do a little bid. But I'm pretty sure Carly gonna find a way. She's resourceful. I'm pretty sure she'll find a way to get out of this mess, this latest mess. um I love the way Diane choked on that coffee when Carly told her about the engagement between Nina and Sonny. And I agree with Diane. Diane not even all that surprised, but at the same time, it's like Sonny is a complicated person, so he like women like that. Speaking of Sonny, the look on Ava's face when she found out about the engagement was hilarious. Because Ava definitely feels like with this secret that Nina's holding on to is gonna bite her in the ass at some point. I did love the scene with little Avery though, when she was asking to be a flower girl. I thought that was pretty dope. Even though it's probably not gonna happen for her, like she's not gonna be the flower girl. I highly doubt it. At this point, I think Ava's trying to go through damage control with Nina, letting her know like you need to do something. You need to get ahead of this thing. Because once Sonny find out that she turned Carly into the feds, ain't no telling what he gonna do. Because him and Carly, no matter how bad things are between them, they're as thick as thieves. So it's no telling what his reaction is gonna be. But Ava genuinely feels like he's gonna side with Carly. That's the way he gonna go, and he just might. Because like I said, loyalty is something between them. I mean, no matter how bad things are, they're always loyal to each other. So there's no telling. I would still think Sonny would be nuts to call off the engagement because of that. I mean, if you're gonna break up with Nina, break up with her for something else. Like not because she tried to turn your ex-wife in. That to me shouldn't be a deal breaker because he knows the issues between the two of them. Like the tit for tat that they got going on, he knows that. So it's like, why even sit here and let that be a deal breaker for you? For what? So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. I can't wait for tomorrow's scenes with Sonny and Carly when he got to tell her about the engagement, because little do he know, she already know. It's gonna be a hot mess. But anyway, hope you all have a great day. See you all later. Peace.